Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to this semifinal match in the All-Forked Cup tournament. We have Pankraz representing Hitting Squirtles taking on Lord Goober of We Forked Up in this Adamant Cup Experience race. And I am Roddy Sniper. I am joined in the booth by Infinius. We've got Leggy Starscream running the restream, and Garen pushing the buttons as the tracker. And Infinius, this is a do or die match for Lord Goober and We Forked Up because somebody won their race in the earlier Hitting Squirtles. We Forked Up. Someone
got lucky. Someone got a bit lucky. If you didn't watch that race, I highly recommend it. Because it was a really good one. I've been told.
It was.
Yeah. So
GG's to you.
Yeah, thank you. This is Adamant Cup Experience, so So in terms of objectives, though, we have complete Tower of Zots, return the Panther Yang's wife, and defeat the King of Tower of Monsters, which means we do not necessarily need the Darkness Crystal. This has potential to be a jet.
It does. A friendly monster, a friendly boss in the King of Monsters spot in a pass can potentially just mean these runners are going to be pushing the pedal to the metal here.
I see we have a Porum start, so so at least we know we've got a white mage available to us this time around. Early on, so getting Berserk is not an exit will be quite useful.
Yeah, and since this flag set is a character limit of 4 in the party, anytime you've got somebody like you can make sure one of those precious few slots is filled up with a white mage. You're generally going to be pretty happy, at least to start off with.
Yeah. So and looks like we are off to the races. Okay, you really hate to see Young in this flag set, but we have Bahama giving us the hook, so we have potential access underground already.
Yeah,
it might be a bit hard, but
I was gonna say those runners might want to go look for that magma key to see if it's available, but the hook is at least a path underground. Also opens up the pink tail check if they get the pink tail, which gives us our this flag set's signature item, an adamant armor. So. Yeah, these runners could get a very overpowered piece of gear in their futures.
Yes, and that overpowered piece of gear will be, in fact, even more pertinent this time around because the King of the Tower Monsters is a very, very punchy spot. So having an Adamant armor will help immensely there. So it looks like Lord Goober is doing the Baron Peak first up, whereas Pankraz, seeing as a hawk, is going to do Devastating and then probably race a hovercraft.
See Rosa here at Baron Inn, and who is that in the chest?
Oh, I missed that. I did not.
So this flag set does allow for characters to be in chests. Restricted characters like Cecil, I believe, are hidden behind monster boxes only. But good. Tella.
Oh, okay. Okay, Tella's alright. Okay, at least now you know you have an anchor. But especially in this flag set where you can get incredible amounts of power, you really want to find a way to get rid of it young as soon as possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, Young gets stronger with levels, not with gear. So you really just if you need to grind with him, and this flag set, with some of the overpowered equipment that you can get, that grind just not really. Not necessarily going to be necessary. So that Cat Claw is nice for him.
Yes, Cat Claw is a nice pickup there, but Pankraz is actually going to loot the hook route. He has found an Artemis boat, which is definitely a way through the overworld if we can find some arrows and potentially a heron rope to speed it through. But this is also another way to get that Cecil. You mentioned that Cecil was restricted here, and this is a restricted character check. And in this flag set, with the Sea Paladin flag, if we do find that Cecil, he's already seen no, he's always said that justice is only right in the way in this world, so that will also come in useful here. I guess the other thing is that I believe the food is also restricted, right? So seeing that there's an early food would also be an incredible thing, just so we can actually get just so we can start powering up as soon as possible.
And there is.
And speaking of the devil, so of note, this is go on.
Either with Mylon Z or Mylon and friends waiting for them at the hook route, should they end up having to go through it.
Yeah, and to note that here is that because Fu this is the sequential RR flag spell progression here. That Fu is not going to learn exit, which can be annoying at times, but because Rosa does not learn exit normally, she has to go through Zot to get it. This also, I guess we also have a potential way through this seed by having mute arty arrows. We might actually just see some very cheeky strats to open boxes at this point, just to see if we can spike some gear on the way out.
Yeah. No.
Meanwhile, Goober is continuing on his losing path. I believe he's fully losable repass. I believe he's also just doing a whole bunch of shop checks down in Kaipo. So did find a white shirt for that poor I guess Porum. So that again, nice bit of gear. Always like the buff to the white magic casting stat. Yeah, Grimoires also hopefully go through Overworld as well.
Yeah, definitely Goober finding a lot more defensive gear as opposed to that white shirt and 2 protect rings. But Pankraz, you point out that Artemis bow. I think that's the biggest find as far as offense.
Yeah, especially with this party. Actually, one would argue that the biggest find for offense in the short term is actually the Fu, because it's good. We're going to do a whole bunch of things, like we're going to fight Mist Cave. We're going to fight I think we're going to see need to wait for him to change his things, and then Ice Arrows does the job. So we're just going to see oh, interesting. So we have Palom on Hobbs, guarded by Luna Sparkle. And it's Ogre Pogo. This is kind of an awkward spot. You kind of like to see him here because it means he's not at say the King of Town Monsters, but given how short we are on power, this is not great.
Yeah, not a whole lot of HP here, like you said. So it's just a matter of hoping that Twin doesn't care. That's right. Twin doesn't create the blaze counter, so that's going to be a big help. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Pankraz found, I think, that Sid in the box, on the box that everyone opens an outline cave, so
I would say that's I would say that's an upgrade from Yang in this flag set.
Yeah, because at least Yang can use the Artemis bow we found already.
Similarly a tank, but much more able to take advantage of the various gear that they're finding. And there's a package at Antlion for Pankraz.
Wrong flags for that to be relevant. I guess that is a potential Cecil. And given that it is T Wildish, we're probably, if Cecil is at package, like Pankraz has every intent to do that check. Especially with the fact that it will be another boss to tick off for Fu. But yeah, I guess we're just going normal progression first.
Yeah, if nothing else, it is another step closer in that obtain 12 key items objectives that both these runners have. So if nothing else, it's another step forward in that. But getting rid of the Sid over the Yang.
I think Pankraz generally likes Sid more anyway. That's usually his preference. He's a big fan of Yang.
Yang does have a lot of uses. Those elemental claws are wonderful for getting through, doing melee damage on bosses that have elemental weaknesses. So, can totally understand. And I don't know if he picked up that second cat claw that Goober just picked up in Antlion, but that's +5 strength, +5 agility. That does help him right off the bat.
I don't think he has. I think Pankraz looked to the top left corner, and then the one chest you open on the way down. I don't think he touched anything else.
Okay. Both runners have their palom off of Mount Hobbs. Pankraz seems to be doing a pretty traditional start so far, and seems to be continuing that by doing the Football defense.
Yeah, all these help scale up that foo. That foo is is going to help carry a fair bit of carrying in this seed.
One downside about Fusoya is that because of the flag that you mentioned earlier, he learns the spells in sequence with as Rydia does for the black magic. So, we know that Weak and Nuke and Quake are pretty far back in that spell list.
That's true. And we have a Sid here in as the package, so yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that reset at all.
Meanwhile, we have the Kuiper guards trying to invade the ball, and this boy should do the job. Because all we need to do is kill the 3 soldiers, and the officer will run away. We miss out a whole bunch of XP, but I mean, at this point, XP can come later. We have a foo.
Yeah. Fortunately, this flag set does have the flag on that gives an extra 25% bonus experience with each objective completed. So once these runners start getting those checked off, they should be scaling up in power pretty quickly.
Yeah. So I think what will be interesting to see is what party compositions our runners will start going for, especially what we have available in the overworld. So we know there's a Rosa down in Baron Inn. So if our runners are feeling like Val doesn't exist, they could go for a party comp where they just get 4 mages, and so you can get 2 Nukes, 2 Whites, and blow up Romus that way.
I think that would definitely be a valid approach, because the admin armor will boost up one of those spellcasters, any of those spellcasters equipped, and they will do very, very large damage numbers.
Now the other interesting question based on that is then, if you do go for that, if say a Cecil appears somewhere in the seed, are you punting Rosa? Or actually, I guess supposed to be a Cecil, you're punting Porom in that case, because you have social exit. Never mind. Meanwhile, but another actual benefit of there's a benefit of actually being sequential R is that well, I guess we have Berserk on through at night after 4 bosses, so he can Zerk himself up with that.
I like using the Artemis bow here on Fusoya. He does have a pretty good strength stat for a caster, and he starts off at 20 agility, so definitely going to be, as you can see here, just taking a lot of turns on Pankraz's side and getting those attacks in. So very reminiscent of the Baron Heroes Journey Club flag set, where Fusoya has to be an archer until he learns all of his spells.
Well, speaking of having to be an archer, there's the veil that I mentioned. So, um,
Yeah, we'll see if he can punch. We'll see how well he can punch through this. Pankraz should
well,
be able to do some damage, I think.
it should be able to do some damage. If in the oh yeah, we're fine then.
Yeah, it'll be a
Especially
little slow.
yeah, Blade. I'm not sure why Pancras is casting a spell here. Just to get him out of the queue.
That's a possibility. So far, been able to manage the fight pretty well, and Andadale in chat pointing out that the Gale Swift fork does have a different does have different calculations for Valvalis' evasion. Based on, as opposed to our main branch, this flag set is all done given with the Gale Swift fork for experimenting with new flag sets that we wanted to celebrate with a tournament. So kind of taking advantage of that a little bit here, and probably having a little bit easier time with Valvalis than normal.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough then. I did forget about that element. I mean, well, that was a play fight in Baron 1, so we'll quickly see who else is guarding this this Rosa. Okay, DKC, that should be that should be okay. We have a Fu that has 800 hit points. Even in the world where that's not enough, Fu will get a turn, use a Cure 2, and then we're through.
Yep, that Cure
And it's
2.
not like you care about the XP, because, well, there's an XP at this spot.
Unlike our Firebound Fiesta flag set, the Dark Knight will give his speech and then go off and, you know, check out the rest of our races later tonight.
Alright, meanwhile, only a crystal glove in the changing room. So this is all the benefit here was actually having done 3 bosses. Meanwhile, we got the tower key from Baron Inn, which means this, I believe, that's everything checked. This is a hook route. Seed.
Yeah, I believe so, because there are no monster boxes. No monster boxes in the overworld or anywhere won't have items in this flag set. So, yeah, and you'd mentioned earlier that the package doesn't have a key item behind it. The runners will get a key item from Sid in the bed in Dwarf Castle. So, yeah, we are out of other options.
Yeah. So this is probably where it'll be interesting to see whether Lord Goober actually does commit to this to a Ordeals climb just to avoid the hook route. We know it's not going to be anything, but you might look at your party and go, well, at least it's 3 bosses, if it isn't. So powering up Fu is definitely a thing.
Yeah, no. And doesn't look like Goober's gonna go for that. Either gonna be checking out cast leveling for some equipment, or some levels, probably more than equipment. Yeah.
I know Goober picked up a whole bunch of coffins, so may think that he might have enough to be able to just do that, with no troubles. Unfortunately, Fu is a bit short on spells to maybe do this, but hey. But at least we got rid of the got through the black cats, which would counter with bluster, which was bad.
Yeah, no, that's this is a dangerous fight because of that. Not only do you have bluster, but the Lamia, using that charm, depending on who it hits, can make it a very, very unpleasant day.
Yeah.
You see the benefit of doing that ordeals check, though. Pankraz already has level 3 spells in his Fusoya.
Hmm. And we are saying no to Rosa. We are keeping this young. I mean, that's defensible. Like I said, like our source exit this point because would be Porum at this point. So there's no real benefit there. Meanwhile, Goober's actually going through this Evelyn pretty quickly, considering his Palom only has his food only has 900 hit points, so it doesn't have all those big spells like Quake and all that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Goober definitely hasn't. I don't think Goober has checked the fight at Miss Cave or done this Elements fight at Waterfall to get powered up. But I don't think that food's gonna get anything. But that food would probably get up to maybe Virus before, um, with the
I
boss
believe Virus.
without
Oh
doing
no,
reveals.
and that is Quake. That is, I believe, Quake on, and that is Quake on and Nuke, I believe, on food just now. Yeah. So one of the other things is that yes, Quake is kind of late for Rydia, but she also doesn't naturally learn Fire 1 and the Freed, and I think the Ice, and I think there's a few other spells that get missed. So you do get a bit of a time save in that regard.
Oh, that's right. You don't get the level the second level elemental spells because those come from the grow up in Dwarf Castle, not from natural leveling. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So looks like both of our runners are just clearing up. Looks like they're clearing up Evelyn. I mean, at this point, you're pretty much priced into doing this. It's the chances of hitting an Adam armor just too good that you just feel compelled to do it.
Yeah, adamant armors can come from these monster boxes as well as that pigtail turn, and like you said, seeds are they missing out on an early adamant armor can be an absolute tipping point for a seed.
Yeah. So just as a reminder for those who are just tuning in, Lord Goob, we fucked up, which is Lord Goob is down a match. This is a must-win situation for him, and we've deferred with race 3 happening later this evening.
Yeah, this is a semi-final match for the All Fork Cup tournament, and you can see why both these runners are making it here so far. Very clean start. I mean, they've done pretty much everything. They've done a lot of things in this overworld in just 22 minutes. Pankraz is up an ordeals check, so that's 3 bosses on Fu, but not a key item. So only losing out on that.
And so yeah, this third monster box really late. I guess we're also trying to get life glitches just because Lord Goober really wants more XP on his characters. It's not as important for Pankraz because he's also done the ordeals climb. So yeah, so on Lord Goober's side, Palom just shot on Quake. Only got a black shirt, which is good for Palom at least, but no add-on armors. So this is going to be potentially one awkward hook route, considering that I believe has to. It's either Paladin or D Lunas. Was that Lunar Sparkle, right? We've seen because we can't be Wyvern. We've seen Ogopogo. We've seen Plague.
Yep, no, that is correct. The unsafe flag is not on for this flag set, so that does remove Wyvern from that possibility. So yes, you are correct.
Okay.
Not that D-Lunars are exactly a walk in the park.
I mean, true, but at least when we do fight those D-Lunars, we'll have we have Fire Free. We'll have Quake from Palom. That should be manageable. As long as we also found a ribbon in Eblin, and that should be sufficient. And I suppose if we also found a white shirt, that's also defense against all the punches. So yeah, I think Dealers is probably the more preferable of the two. But both are pretty much okay at this point.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We've got more defensive gear for the D-Lunars fight than, because I don't think we've gotten crystal rings or anything that resist dragons. So that is a very good point.
And although it'll be a bit, admittedly, it'll also be a lot more awkward for Lord Goober because he just doesn't have the spells and Fu. So it looks like by the time you'll get to this Lunar Sparkle, it'll be at one Fu will have 1,000 hit points. Which I might be Varus, so in that case I think it probably means that Paladin has to carry that fight. Assuming he survives this fight and gets Quake, because I don't think we've seen anyone else.
Lord Goober again taking advantage of life glitch, reviving enemies that have just recently been defeated, so they come back to life with 0 HP because of their 0 vitality, and there is Quake on Palom. And another life staff.
Yeah, and also that xPankraz is not opening any boxes. No, is not going to spend the time to get that box. So way more important for Goober to get that XP because again, Palom has to carry this potential fight coming up. Whereas xPankraz doesn't need it. He has Fu. He'll have Nuke by the time he fights that Lunar Sparkle.
I'll be curious to see what's in that one spot because that is a very fast and very high physical attack spot. So depending on the boss there, that could potentially be a real headache, particularly for Lord Goober not having the extra HP on Fu or the Yang to take a hit or two.
Oh, we already had a whole bunch of life stops. Interesting. All right.
I know.
Speaking of Yang, this could smart a little bit. This is also going to come quick and fast because because we've given XP to all our characters, we don't actually have a traditional anchor at all. Our anchor is Porom. So this is probably a wipe on Goober's side.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That kick becomes a real complication because you can't just blink up somebody and let them shrug off. Ignore the hits. Yang's gonna hit you with that, or the karate fight's gonna hit you with that kick.
Wow, 57 hit points on Yang. That was just enough to survive that. What? Right. I'm gonna assume that was a miss menu.
Either that or xPankraz ran out of MP and what's 82.
That is a miss menu.
Yeah.
82. That's a miss menu. At that point.
Because that's enough for two. That's enough for 2 Quakes.
But even still, there was a chance that they could get through that anyway. And meanwhile, yeah, that is another wipe on Goober, from Lord Goober. This, I suspect what we need to do is actually need to have, yeah, this is gonna be a tough puzzle for Goober because he just doesn't have the spells on food to be able to get through this cleanly.
Yeah, no, you're
Whereas,
plus that extra survivability too.
yeah, even that also matters. Like, food basically getting hit and then dying is also not helping Baz at all. But yes, good call on using the silk web. That's really something you need to get through this, because
xPankraz is through, and we'll take on Flavor Mylon. That's what's here.
oh sorry, right, Mylon, right. My bad. I thought it was Luna Sparkle. I don't know why I thought that.
Xenocat pointing out in chat. Goober making a good decision getting that, getting his Zerker in the center slot, get that extra accuracy bonus. Also recommending using some illusions to cast up some blinks. Again, won't protect against this kick, but will at least avoid those big punches. Yeah, I really like that silk web use as well.
Yes, yeah. Like, we just need to slow this fight down a lot, and hopefully with all the spells and with the healing that we can put out potentially, like this, especially with the life stuff, that should be enough to outlast the kicks. Although Fruit took a lot from that kick actually. But that's a lot of damage. We just need to have this young hits anyone that's not Rosa, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, Pankraz finding Mylon and friends here at the Rubicon spot.
And yeah, from Goober's through. That was well done. Well solved.
That is, it's a very good, making adjustments, looking at things, and coming up and re-strategizing, staying cool, and not getting flustered by the fight. Excellent job by Goober. And,
yeah, also good job with slowing the battle speed down just to get through this.
Yes.
But yes, also good call to just go through this because this should be a pretty straightforward fight in the grand scheme of things. And Pankraz is also through this Mylon fight.
Yeah, no, using that nuke that, like you pointed out, he was going to get from defeating the karate fight and chopping down Mylon's HP very quickly.
Yeah, I actually missed what was on top of the tower. Did you get a peek on that?
I don't think he checked it either, that or he blinked at he did it the exact moment I blinked. I didn't see that juke to the right.
He did juke to the right a little bit, but it was so quick that I didn't even have time to process it.
You caught it better than me. That just shows how fast Pankraz is.
Yes.
But we'll be incentivized to go right to park and go right back up with that tower key.
Yeah, it also means that you also immediately change your airship, which is a minor type if it's just see hit there, because if we find a pink tail at any point, we'll want to turn that in for the Iron Armor immediately.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. You're here. You can get the airship swapped out. You don't have to take that 15-30 seconds to go back to Evelyn Castle and grab it. So those minor time saves do add up.
Yeah. One thing I'll also point out. Okay, looks like we're doing penguin air first. There must be something really, really bad up there. Um.
You know, but that according to Curios in chat, it is an antlion. So yeah, uh, I think to your point, that is a very nasty spot at the top.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, on the plus side, we'll have nuke for that. But yeah, that's about it, right? Like we're basically relying on a whole bunch of nukes, I guess a whole bunch of quakes, because we really don't, but that's a whole bunch of hit points. Whether Pancras wants to spend that time to do that, I don't know.
Yeah, in a very fast spot without anything to, anchoring isn't that big a deal. Is gonna
Okay,
go
so we
up.
actually are going to climb it. We're actually going to climb it. It was interesting that Pancras opted to save at save at the first spot. Yeah, I guess we now go to tense up because Fu only has at this point 20 MP. So this means that now Fu will have 2 nukes, a virus, and 2 quakes. With charm rods, that should be enough.
Good chance, yeah.
No, he did save outside. He saved at the first spot in if he didn't save outside, that would make sense then.
Yeah, the faster walkout if needed.
Hmm. And Goober about to find out about this answer that Pancras is about to fight. But Goober is through the hook round. That is honestly, this is going to come down potentially down to routing because we have a whole bunch of choices available to us. We could do again. Tower makes sense. Dwarf makes sense because you have Sid in the bed. Also potential shot at a Cecil. Also, and a check there. Very much also makes sense because objective king and the free fight and the free key item. What's options?
Yeah, no, it will be interesting. Goober not getting but not too far behind Pancraz. Basically, a tower climb and a super cannon fighting cutscene, so not too far away. And is gonna heal up here at the dwarven pot, and might be doing that dwarf castle check because, like you said, there is that free item there.
I guess the other thing for Goober is this is also 2 bosses, which 2 relatively easy bosses. So given that his Fu only has was it 1200 I think it was, or 1100 hit points, yeah, he wants spells and wants spells badly.
That's a good point.
Alright.
No.
Well, that's a bit awkward.
We'll see how badly Lord Goober wants spells with that Golbez in the Dwarf Castle 1 spot.
I mean, I think you still obliged to sit through this at this point. You've committed to this, like I said, you had 3 viable choices, and there's a pink tail from the top of tower. So that is an added armor for Pancraz for when he eventually wants to turn that in.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if he cashes that in now or does some of the freebies and get some information first. With the Fey March being an objective, I can see him either at least going to see Yang in the Sylph Cave to set up Sheila 1, but I can see him wanting that Adamant Armor before going down to the Fey March and getting that freebie.
I mean, I think I'd be inclined to say I think Pancras is probably going to dwarf because again we have because we don't have to rat tail yet. Getting that pink tail isn't necessarily that efficient, especially since we have Fu. Also, returning Pan is also an objective, so we really want to be able to spike that Pan soon. No, before we do Sheila 1, if possible. Of course, this is also moot if this tower becomes Pan, because in that case we probably do check that because now you're getting the Pan bulk as well.
Oh, it is the same.
Nope, just a Sand Ruby.
Pankraz is going to go to Dwarf Castle, which, as you've pointed out, there is a lot of benefits that getting that trying to look for that rat tail to save time,
Mm.
uh, getting that pan here rather than have to go back.
Meanwhile, Lord Goober, this Foo has to do a lot of carrying because he's the only person that's now alive. But no, he is through, so
Yep.
there is that. Pankraz actually checking Sid first and gets thanks a magma key. I mean, again, working towards 12, so can't complain too much about that.
That is the big thing. At least it's a key item and not a zonk. And
yeah.
I was gonna say,
ooh,
that would have been a very bold check to replace Fu with a base level Edge, but I don't dislike swapping out for Edge here.
I mean,
well, except for the fact that he went with Porum instead of Rosa, so we'll have to make sure
yeah,
that he buys exits if he can find them.
Yeah, that is going to be the awkward thing about this is yes, you're right. It's no exit now unless we climb Zot. So
yeah, I could definitely I can definitely understand why Lord Goober was hovering over that food because I think at the end of the day, now that Palom's pretty well powered up, you've got Porum and Rosa doing good things. I think Edge is a better complement for that party than relying on Fu. But yeah, not when he's your only party member.
Sorry if I came through. That was my alarm clock. But no, it's too early for me. But no, look. Yeah, I think, but it's interesting to know who you keep there. I agree. I think I probably would have ditched. I don't think I think I would have kept the team as is, but that's just me liking preferring reflex strats if possible over anything else.
Yeah, I will say I like Edge for reflex strats because he can throw a couple darts before you start getting close to that tipping point and speed things up, and it helps when you get a Masamune.
Yeah, that's true. Masamune does in fact help things. But we should see what Pankraz opts into as what choice as well. Yeah, so that's we need to put the boomerang in the right hand to back row him, but no, minor detail.
So if the boomerang started off in the right hand, so that should still.
Oh, did it?
Right,
okay,
right?
did it? Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
sorry, I didn't.
No, I wasn't sure if he would need to re-equip it to make it to get it.
No. If it started with boomerang, that's a different story.
Yeah, the Masamune very fortunate because we haven't found much else for that Edge. Just a few things to throw in an Assassin's Dagger. So.
I mean, Assassin's Dagger can do a bit of work in the right fight, so there's that.
Oh yeah, no, it's not a bad weapon. It's just not the only weapon. You don't want to rely it as your only weapon for Edge.
So meanwhile, Pankraz did also keep the Edge, but turned away Rosa, which I think
No, get rid of the Yang.
Yeah. Oh, Yang, right.
Which makes sense. Swap a melee attacker for another melee attacker, one that gets a little bit more powerful, easier.
Yeah. It's gonna feel quite happy when we get when he sees the Masamune, which solves a whole bunch of problems.
So, Goober leaving Dwarf Castle as Pankraz is wrapping it up. There's some sirens here in Tamra.
Okay, so we have potential grind if we really want to commit to that. Um, Probably not now, because again we have a food, but knowing that they're available in timer is still a good thing.
Yeah, and I think both runners picked up a handful of Hourglass 2s in the Dwarven item shop, so they might be able to hold off until they get that Darkness Crystal and take the King Ryu fights to level up that way, especially after we get some of these objectives marked off and get that bonus experience.
Yep, all that's sweet. 25% bonus XP would be quite useful. Quite useful. Just to make so you don't have to do as many. Also, um, entry good pick up on 2 Sork robes and also ninja hats. So if we find a crystal ring at any point, that means we have a good 28 agility anchor which will make any fight quite pretty straightforward.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely. Anytime you can get your agility to one of those stable numbers, particularly on this Aromas fight, that's a huge help. Goober taking the boxes along the way. I did notice that he got that edge equipped with the Thunderclaw, so definitely going to be taking some of these fights here.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea at this point. I mean,
especially if there's a ninja sword for you.
Yeah, not the worst thing that can appear there. Also, we just what was another zonk down in the Fame match, so we are actually running out of spots to find this Darkness Crystal. All we have left is these 2 checks in the Fame match and Sheila 1.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting how these very interesting, that's screaming to me that if I get that Darkness Crystal, the moon's got a good chance of being loaded.
Ooh, so we were talking about possible spot things that Lunar Sparkles could be before, right? So it was Pale Dim, D-Lunas, and I guess now that it's here, a Wyvern.
Yeah, I think Pankraz is wishing that the spots were switched because the Dolls of the Queen spot's going to be relatively manageable with 2 Quake casters. But yeah, I think you peak that. I think yeah, healing up, getting ready to at least probably take on the Dolls and see what's at that Lunar Sparkle. Just because hey, it's an objective. You got to know what you're up against.
Yeah, and it's I believe it is standard is a standard Wyvern, right, in this flag set?
I believe so.
So yeah, let's see. So we got. This is also where the Sork rope pickup is actually going to be very useful because if it's because if it is D-Lunas, then we are actually we are home free. That they're gonna hurt, but a glass hat Sork robe should be enough to protect ourselves against that. But it's standard Wyvern and we are maybe on the lookout for an anchor.
Yeah, I would say that's a good chance. Might need to go back up to the city and swap out that Sid that we had earlier for somebody just at least temporarily for an anchor.
Yeah, I mean you'd be pretty sure that that'll work because it'll be because I think Pankraz also has picked up a dwarf axe
Yes.
at a shop in shopping at Kabul, so that can already provide a -5 to his agility as well.
Meanwhile, agility anchoring not so much of a problem here at the Queen spot with the Dolls here. Quake takes them out, and Pankraz is rewarded with another ninja sword.
All right, so this ninja keeper is looking a lot better as we speak. So that's nice. But I guess we're going to find out very quickly whether this shield, whether that King of Town Monsters gates out Darkness Crystal, because that's it. We have no other checks.
Yeah, there will be something here, whether it's Darkness Crystal, whether it's one of the other uh, opens up another check on the Lunar Subterranean. Could be the Pan. Could have to run right back down here.
True, and to be fair, you'd actually like to see that, because again it gets you that objective. It means you get more XP moving forward. It is actually a nice thing. I guess if it's also the Earth Crystal, we might be seeing a late treasury, but it's probably worth it considering there's a relatively good chance that Cecil is up there, and we'll have and also the treasury has a decent shot at having an adamant armor as well. I think having 2 adamant armors might also be enough to be able to anchor through this fight. It'd be pretty close.
Right. I believe you're right, especially with Fusoya and Edge in the party.
Yeah, I think those two, and then with the Barkus wine, especially with Masamura, that Edge should be able to buff up by Berserking. Fu can revive everyone else, and then be done with that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting through and getting the Star Veils up to reflect that opening Mega Nuke, and should be able to pour on the damage pretty quickly.
But no, Sheila 1 has the Darkness Crystal, so now we have interesting options here. How committed are we to this party? Who is on the Lunar Dais? Also, don't forget to pick up your adamant armor, which Lord Goober is doing right now.
I do like Pankraz's routing here, going and getting the check first on the chance that Sheila 1 was the rat tail, so you can do the turn in at the same time.
Yeah,
I do like that. I do like that bit of routing.
Yeah, I did note that too. It was a smart line from that. Whereas Goober hasn't done Sheila 1 yet, still holding out for that. So,
Goober went and got that adamant armor before going into the Fey March. So, may take a stab at this Wyvern spot. I don't know if it'll be I don't know it'll be enough to guarantee getting that Star Veil up first, because we saw just how quickly that Mega Nuke came out. But Wyvern standard time, moving that battle speed back down to 6, might be able to get it up.
Yeah, maybe. I could also see Pankraz going, well, I have to go down here and go to City anyway. I might, while I'm here, change characters and then head back down before doing the moon. Especially since, because if that king is a double, that you'd feel bad if full clearing the moon first.
Yeah, and I think that 25% experience does give some extra incentive for doing that, because you get 25% more experience going onto one of the more difficult, one of the more experience-rich areas. So there is at least an incentive to do it. Want to point out.
Also important to note, Goober did pick up those exits that were on sale. So now it's no longer being so now has the out to exit if necessary. But Pankraz is just going to go and raise the Lunar Whale. He's going to the moon. I think with this line, I think he's just going to clear the moon. Clear the moon.
I think so. With an adamant armor on, I don't know if Pankraz has put that on anybody yet. I'm assuming it's going to go on Edge just because he benefits the most from it.
I think he's waiting to see if Cecil is here or not, and then before making the choice. Because if Cecil's here, then that'll be the ball game, as it were.
And he is here, but we have found an Excalibur. There is an
Yeah,
Excalibur.
we have an Excalibur. That's why. That's why. So
Yeah.
now we have Excal Cecil added armor. Yeah. We are no. Now we really want levels for. We're probably punting Palom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And we're heading back. So. Okay. So I think. Oh, it's the other upside for this play, by the way, is that Cecil can also anchor for this Wyvern fight, because he'll be, because again Dwarf Axe will mean he'll be slow enough, and yeah, this is actually, well, I didn't even consider that. Oh, we're just gonna pick up the Sid anyway, I think, but uh, no, this is.
Options. I think that it's very strong to do as you that slows the anchor for this fight, but looks like is going to go grab that Sid.
Yeah, and ditched Porum, so
they did.
So again, Dwarf Axe
for sale, right?
Oh yeah. So we know Bacchus was for sale in the Fame match by some. But yeah, we just go back row to Cecil. We go whack the add-on on him. I don't think we found a strength ring. He might be on someone else, but yeah. No, this is a fully kitted out team now. This is endgame viable, because that's Master Mirror Edge, power shot with a power shot as well. Fu can be a white mage, and yeah, I guess we're gonna use crack open one egg with a siren just to get levels on Cecil. But yeah.
Meanwhile, Lord Goober does get 3 veils up on that Wyvern. That's a great start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and being able to Bacchus wine, yeah, that will be. He should be through this.
Goober did put the admin armor on the edge, so we'll have to deal. Well, we got protect rings to deal with adamant sickness. Should he decide to take it off of edge and put it on the Cecil once he acquires that?
Yeah, that's also true.
So this definitely looks like Battle Speed 6 Apex Corbett. This is
yes.
Wyvern standard time. This makes a lot of sense. You want it to slow the boss down as much as you can, so you have more time to take those actions. There come the nukes. So yeah, starting to getting the Palom up to get an extra target for those nukes. Very good fight so far by Lord Goober.
Yeah, also Quakes just to help chip it down a bit more. But yeah, this is very well handled. And yeah, perfect targeting.
That is exactly where Lord Goober wanted that go to start off with. So probably wants to make sure Rosa's on throwing life potions more so than try to chip in the damage. Just even with that Artemis Bow, not going to be doing a whole lot.
Yeah, agreed. But no, we're through.
Hey,
we are through.
Very well.
That is our first objective on the board. So, and that's. Oh, and it was a double. It was the double.
Like you said. So this is very interesting for Lord Goober. Lord Goober is going to be doing this before going to that moon, most likely. So
yeah, this is.
I would have saved. Even the dolls, I would have saved here.
I wouldn't have, but
with the hourglasses, you're right. It's safe, but There's that part of me that
I
was just
wasn't
been
thinking
like,
about the hourglasses. I wasn't even thinking about hourglasses. I was just thinking, yeah, I'll probably would have done this even without hourglasses. But that could just be me being used to playing, having them being not free.
that's true. That's very true. For those of you just tuning in for the first time, the All Fork Cup tournament, our runners are on teams that have 3 different flag sets. Infinius is proficient in the Firebomb Fiesta flag set, which does not have free bosses for for a very different challenge.
Hmm. And you can see with all the run buffering that Pancras is doing, just to make because I believe he just walked in at battle speed 1. So the fact that he managed to get 2 Veils off, and a nuke, I think we might just reflect the nuke as well. And yeah, we should be good here.
Yeah, Pankraz being able to play this fight much more aggressively
Yeah.
because of having nuke. Lord Goober's crew didn't even have nuke yet. And
Yeah.
the matter of equipment that Cecil and Edge had, plus the anchoring capability that comes with that Sid is providing by just standing there doing Sid things.
Yeah. Hey, let's try and map this out. So if Tower Key gives us the Pan turns into Rat Tail and something else, and Rat Tail is a key item. That's go mode, right? By math.
Or even like the Baron key could through the Earth Crystal could provide.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, or Baron Key, yeah. Now the interesting question is, are we going to open that treasury? It could have Adam Armor. It could have a Crystal Sword, which would be an upgrade. And we are. Okay. I can see arguments either way.
Yeah, I mean you've got Excal, Adamant Cecil, you've got Power Shirt, Muramasa Edge, you've got Sork Robe on Fu, and I think a Charm Rod. Not too, other than spiking the Adamant armor, there's really not a whole lot that you can get here, other than maybe some darts for Edge or that Crystal Sword, and then we get
Crystal Ring.
So
Crystal Ring. Yeah, that was kind of a blank. Realistically blank. Yes, it now means we're guaranteed to have the 28 agility if that's what we want, but we also have a Sid. So, I think we had a minor upgrade in getting getting a master for our Fu here, not Fu for our Edge, and that was like a protect ring, but that was about it really.
Yeah, this would have been a much better treasure. This would have been a much better treasure if you hadn't already been underground and gotten a lot of good stuff, all the good swords for Edge already.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the other thing that you did get from that is you got a whole bunch of darts. If darting is the answer and not swinging a sword. But I think we've run out. Oh, I suppose we have D-Lunars where that might be relevant.
And CPU as well. I personally like throwing as many darts as I can into a CPU.
I think I just circuit and just and get lucky.
Goober about to get the Darkness Crystal. Be curious to see if he checks that character in shop or goes right for that Earth Crystal, which honestly, Earth Crystal is an objective.
Yeah.
I would be mildly surprised if he went for the one character check versus the 2 up here.
Yeah, same. I think we just have to go east and do that objective. Also, but Cecil could also be there.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is our Demon Sound. Now you're seeing a 25% XP bonus there because we got 11,250 as opposed to 900 here, so that's pretty decent. Alright, we have someone who's irrelevant. Like I didn't see where we take this cane honestly.
No.
Yeah,
Maybe Goober if he sees all those white spears in the treasury, but yeah, no.
yeah. I mean, especially those white spears would be tempting. Yeah, we're saying no to the second edge as well. But Goober is also just going up. He's not opening the treasury at all.
Again, like you said, there's a chance he could spike a second adamant armor, um, but not a guarantee. And after probably after the number of times, the difficulties getting through that Dark Knight Cecil spot at the first hook spot, might be trying to find some places to make up some time.
Yeah. Yes. And this is kind of where this could just be a thing where given Pankraz's reputation, he's just making gamblers and just going for it where possible. Like the fact that he actually did manage to limit his interaction fall to be a double dip. That's one of those gambles that you just feel obliged to make here.
Yeah, no, that was a gamble that paid off well, because if that magma key had been there, or something like that earth crystal, that would have potentially made a bit of an impact.
Yeah, but we just got an adamant rock, not quite the adamant armor, but an adamant rock. So that means that Moon has to have something, has to have our pan somewhere, in some form or fashion.
Yep, either directly or through an item chain. That does also put Pankraz at 9 key items, so very close to getting that additional 100 the double experience bonus. So these parties are going to be flying up in levels very shortly.
Yeah, it looks like Pankraz is just going to go bottom up. I assume, or it could just be doing this one first because we don't have to move the whale this way. This could actually just come down to top down versus bottom up. As wild as that sounds.
Yeah, that would buy Goober a lot of time, because not too far behind, just about to clean up this Odin fight very quickly himself. So in good shape, but yeah, definitely needs to make sure definitely needs to take a different path than Pankraz, because if he keeps following in Pankraz's footsteps, then even if he continues to play as well as he has, he's just not going to make up that time.
Yeah, like Pankraz has been extremely efficient in a lot of choices. So this is, basically Goober has to find a pan, and I guess that pan has to find that pan fast.
Yeah, and to your point about trying to looking at who you're up against, Pankraz being a very well regarded runner in the community. I could see Goober doing a top-down play, or even checking Cave Bahamut, because that's the less likely play. Most runners like to go to the bottom of the lunar subterranean first, because there's more items down here.
Yeah, and always possible. Oh yeah, so we get to give Cecil a crystal ring. So yeah, we just zerk him. Yeah. How much Marcus Wine did Pankraz buy?
I don't know. I didn't see a whole lot when I've been checking the inventory, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't split up amongst the
Okay, we have 13, alright.
Okay, yeah. That's a lot better than I thought.
Yeah. Okay, Goober is. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Goober is going to climb all deals.
Yeah.
That is time he's not going to get back. That one choice might be be it, honestly. Like, as loath as I am to try to this, we know this is a dead check, and that's just giving Packers too much time.
Yeah, Lord Goober's going to
Yeah.
get to this very quickly because Boo's fully ready to go, fully operational.
Mm,
Has an edge that's going to make very short work of these fights. It's not a matter of that. It's just the walking, the cut scenes that all adds up, and that's
yeah.
time that he's giving back to Pankraz by skipping it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate wanting to be thorough because that's how I run. But yeah, if you faded something to start off with, you just got to say if something's here, okay, I accept that.
Yeah. Exactly. Just at this point, given that it is now an hour 8 in, and there's and you fade all deals, you've just got to commit to fading it. You just go.
Yeah,
Alright, if I just gotta say, if Pan is here, I lose anyway. So it's just not. It's just not.
yeah, which it doesn't feel good as a runner to have to sit there and tell yourself that you're basically you're basically you're pinning your hopes on something not being there, but that is the gamble. You're hoping your opponent spends time that doesn't benefit them,
Mm,
and you're really hoping that you don't get burned by it.
yeah.
And there's the
And
pan
well,
getting
there's the
delivered.
Pan. So the even in the case where where Goober did top down, well, we found the Pan down here, up here anyways, in at the bottom. So yeah. So we're just going to do a quick grind. Oh, and we have
Now, still needs that 12
not
key item.
still needs a 12
Sure.
key item, but the fact that we found the pan already, um, means that I think if Pancras gets an 11th key item, he's gonna go and assume that I think he's just gonna go and assume that he's gonna get the 12th through the pan wherever pan returns.
Yeah, you'll have two chances to get one of five key items still in, or six key items. Yeah, six. No, yes,
Oh wait,
five
he's
because
gonna do it
yours,
at 11,
yours still
so
coming.
5. Yeah. There'll be four, because I'm assuming he's gonna go once he gets his 11th key item, especially if it's
Yeah,
like rat tail.
the way I do math on stream, you think it was 5 a.m. for me still.
I mean, yeah, it's but no, Goober getting bad news is about to. I think has raised the whale. Is just doing some shopping checks first. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, that his choice just hasn't. This choice hasn't paid off at all. And this is a very clean grind fight for Pankraz. That uses up last of his sirens, and yeah, now he's good. Yeah, two.
That's a ridiculous amount of experience for those gold dragons. 270,000.
Yeah, I guess the one thing I do like about one of the interesting things about I guess having objectives being giving a bonus like that is that it kind of says like it tries to go against the intention of say grind early, grind often. So it is kind of nice like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've really liked about that the fork has introduced various different ways to add bonus experience for either doing objectives,
Mm,
doing key item checks, um, e- missing on key items. Zonks can be a
mm,
bonus to your experience. So it's interesting that the new ways to kind of say, okay, well, where some new risk reward type things, like you said. Do I just grind to get it over with, or do I wait to make my grind go significantly faster?
mm. Ooh, and that Warhag did a number to the edge. Jeepers. But no, but having said that though, with 5.0 coming relatively soon, that also had, I think, often me those XP changes, some of those XP changes have come through to 5.0, so that you get to play around with those as well. Some of those as well.
Yeah, no, definitely been very exciting between guilds, between the forks that have introduced a bunch of new modes like a bunch of new flags, and even modes like the Doors randomizer that we've had in the past, that we've had a tournament for the
Hmm.
past, and then
Hmm.
all the changes in store for 5.0. Uh, very exciting times. And if you want to keep abreast of them, please join our Discord to see the changes and see the discussions, and also
Hmm.
maybe check out some taking up racing for yourself.
Yeah, we are okay. On the plus side for Goober, we are seeing what he needs to do. We see a him doing top down, and we know unfortunately he's not going to run to the pen until he gets to the bottom, but it is the right play.
Yeah, no, this you know without the knowledge of where the item is, you're right. This is the right play.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it won't pay. It won't pan out as it were. But you know,
Hmm.
this is the proper. This is the best way to try and approach this.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, this Cecil is just carved, had created for Turtle Soup, I guess. All right, that
Very,
Rattel probably means we are going to leave a save here and then bail to check Rattail and the pan.
yeah,
I
that's
think.
3 chances of one of those key items. I think not quite a
Yes, that's
guarantee.
three
Not quite a
chances.
guarantee, but very good chance.
Yeah. It's because we have because all we have left would be Crystal Sword Altar down here. Um, Pe Mirror Altar, which Goober's checking. Um, yeah, this is like I said, this is just a good. It's too good to pass up.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're likely going. You don't care what key item you get, so long as you get one. So, even if it's the Luca key, even if it's the spoon, you're a happy camper.
Hmm.
Our tracker and Jack Garum pointing out that there is an outside chance of it being between the Murrah and the crystal, either on the Murrah altar or the crystal sword altar, but not very likely. Which, you're cheering for Lord Goober, you're really hoping for that outside chance.
Hmm. And we're about to find out whether that is the case or not, no, for one of them, because I guess Baron Key could gate everything, but that is just a Dragoon armor,
Not what
so
you're hoping for, unfortunately.
no. Which I think it's not guaranteed yet. This we could still find I guess the pass doesn't count as a key item here, so that's also a potential find at some point.
Well, there it say its
Like
name
that
and it
pass right
appears.
there.
That's good. That's nice to have for Pankraz, because now won't have to go back up to the moon and take the long walk through the entirety of the lunar subterranean to get to Zeromus. Can just go to the pub in Troya and take a nice little shortcut.
Yeah. And then I guess all operations here will have to be yeah, do the panbog. If that's a miss, then do your turn in rat tail. If that's a miss, then I don't know. I guess we do not sure what you do at that point. I think at that point I'm just assuming.
Probably Cave Bahamut or
Yeah,
Murasame Altar, just because they're the faster of the two.
yeah, it's all very awkward, but I think that we got 12 key items with Luca key, so
Sheila 2 has the Luca key, so that is the 12th key item. Pankraz has attained the crystal and is in go mode.
yeah, and at this point already has what it has so many levels. That is a lot of levels for both that paladin and for that ninja.
Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Lord Goober going up to the Crystal Sword Altar is going to be avoiding that pan for a little bit longer. But again, in a vacuum, this is the counterplay that you want to make. So this is a very good decision.
Yes, yeah, I really do like this choice. Like, again, we know it's not going to work out, but committing to top down by going Crystal Altar, it just makes more sense. It just makes sense.
Yes, I like the play. It's this is the right play. But in Phineas, we are approaching a very important time in every restream where we start asking some questions.
Doesn't happen every restream. There are races where we don't have to do this fight.
Yes, I forgot about the Firebomb Fiesta. Please forgive me.
Okay, good.
No, I don't want to forget about the flag set that you've been specializing in.
Yeah, it's fair. But in all other cases, we do have a thing where we can't really shuffle Zeromus around too hard. Most of the time, you don't want to see big bangs on the blue planet. But yeah, but we do have a saying at this point because we do randomize the appearance of Zeromus. So with that in mind, let's see, whose butt are we going to kick? God, is it 7 in the morning? Jesus. Yeah. Well, for me, it's this morning anyway.
Will they provide Infinius with a cup of coffee? Would be the nicest thing the butt can do.
Yeah. Alright, and I don't feel like Dr. Robotic would provide coffee.
If it was, it would be really, really bad, and most likely unintentionally.
Yes. Meanwhile, we see Lord Goober actually coming out with Lunar Frog strats to take down these D-Lunars, which again, it's if you're able to execute them, it's pretty safe. It's really safe. So
yeah, the Crystal Sword Altar has very, very low magic attack, so may have been tempted to try and just take the virus counters, but this is absolutely the safer approach.
Yeah, I mean, yes, magic is pretty weak, but virus still kind of does a lot still.
And Adamant Armor does not have resistance to virus or nuke. Oh.
Okay.
Twin Harp for Lord Goober.
I mean, that's key item 10 for him. So maybe tempted to once he gets that pan, just to gamble and see if that pan turn gets his 12. And we know he's going to get the pass on the way there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pankraz going through this Zeromus fight, taking out our Eggman. That is a lot of damage coming out between those two Zergers.
Yes, that's what. Although interesting that did see that second Big Bang, I thought he would skip that, but I think that just means Cecil's just going to bring it all home anyway.
Yep, there it is. There is the crack. There is the crumble. GG Pankraz.
And with that, Hitting Squirrels will advance to the grand finals, where we don't even know who they're going to take on. It will either be Dude, Where's My Benjamin, or 2 Pink Pass Drop at Add-on Armor. But I guess we'll see if he's up for an interview.
While we wait for that, Lord Goober is working his way through this CPU fight. We'll be in go mode very shortly, so not too far behind.
Yeah, because we know that he's going to get, if he goes to Like if he just turns in that pan, he's just, that'll be a 12-key item that way. Ooh, unlucky. The float tried to go for reflecting the float strats to quake down the orbs, but the float landed on the main CPU and not the attacker.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 shot, but it always feels much lower than that when you're trying for it.
Hmm.
Yeah, no. Excellently run seed. Pankraz getting, you see the power available to these runners in this flag set. The loot was very strong. The admin armor obviously allows for that plus 15 boost to every stat. Pankraz had cleared a lot of this map in a minute, or an hour and 22 minutes essentially.
Yeah. I mean, that's also the power of a access to a very early food, even though it was a sequential R. Just being able to get those early spells, getting virus relatively, finding the Artemis bow, being able to leverage that to be able to have food that shoot things down before he gets virus, and having the spells take over. Yeah, there was a lot of power available to you early on if you dove the hook route to get that food.
Both these runners did get Fusoya, but I do think that early ordeals check, even though it was a zonk, those 3 extra fights went a long way in getting Pankraz's Fusoya to that full power, getting through that hook route a little bit faster, a little bit faster than Goober.
Yeah, and also made it so that it was a lot easier for Pankraz to just do them. Like just being able to have nuke on that fight just saved a whole bunch of time.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Lord Goober is for that CPU fight. We know he's about to get that pan, and it will be interesting to see where he goes after that. Whether he continues on or just Yeah, he looks like. Yeah, I like it. I think he sees the. I expect he's just seen the dot done and is going. Yeah, I'm just going to check this now and see how I go from there.
And we are joined now by the winner of this race, Pankraz. GG.
Hey, GG's. Thank you very much.
So, what were your thoughts on that seed?
It started off interesting. With the early Fusoya, everything is always going to feel very accelerated. That's just the nature of, the time warping mage. But beyond that, the seed was very, very kind of funnily, very linear in a few aspects, which really plays to my strengths in a lot of these matchups. There's only one thing to do to get underground. There's only one thing to do once you're underground. There's no branching paths and everything to start chasing. Kind of just funnels you into those few key points, and that worked out quite advantageously for me.
Yeah, if we didn't know that you just had, the hook was underground. The fact that the only choice branching path you really had was, do you want to do tower first, or do you want to do dwarf first, basically.
Yeah, and they're both lead to Bubkiss, so it's like, alright.
Yeah. And then after you do the fair match, because again you just want to see if you can spike that pan, right? Before doing Sheila 1.
Oh, always try to get that, efficient routing, especially in these higher completion seeds, shaving off a little, 20 seconds here on just a little bit of a routing order change always helps.
Yeah. I had an idea. Any thoughts actually on having Cecil be the anchor for that that Wyvern fight.
I thought about it, but once he showed up, I figured I could just. My plan, if Cecil didn't show up between the Sand Ruby and the Tapa Tower, or sorry, the Lunar Deus, was to go and replace Porum with Sid anyway, and then I would just buy a stack of Exits down there in the Fey March. I figured I'd check him first because, Excal Cecil is pretty good, as we saw.
Yes.
But ultimately, I was like, okay, we can work with just 2 nuke casters and an edge to dart a couple things. I have the Excal to dart for his Aroma's fight. I've got great weaponry. That should be enough to do a Wyvern with a couple Star Veils with some reflected nukes. We can get through it. We just need to be anchored. So let's go get the anchor and get wide.
Yeah, no, fair enough. As I was established, like, no, that was a big thing. But yeah, again, it also made sense that if you're going to get that Cecil anyway, may as well just do a grind while you're there, while you're down there. At that point, you'd had one objective done, so it's still relatively decent shot at relatively decent amount of XP that way.
Yeah, and we didn't need much, just enough to get him online. I had the adamant armor in hand. I could have slapped it on edge and gone with the base level Cecil, but it kept palling me. It would get weird then though. And I figured, with edge Zerked, with this giant stack of Bacchus Wands that I'm about to buy with all of my mage gear that I'm selling, we're gonna be in good shape, even if it's just 4,000 a round.
Yeah, it was, at least if nothing else, it was a cohesive plan.
Definitely, and it came together well.
Yeah. This is just but you're right. This was just a seed where you again the other question was basically, do you do top down or bottom up in terms of when you get to the moon, essentially. So that bottom up was the play by a lot.
Yeah, that was when I was entering the LST. That was something I was thinking about. Of okay, I guess top down makes sense in this situation, but I'm going to leave that with no pass in hand. I'm going to leave that as kind of like a counterplay opportunity. If I lose to a top down pan, unlucky. I'm at 9 key items. I'm just going to go play density, try to get that 10th, and then finish out my grind real quick, and then just see what I can find down there. Which is why I also stuck down there ultimately. Just needing one more little bit of bond.
Yeah, I think in the booth we actually commented that I think you're going to, as soon as you get your live, we figured you were going to bail, because at that point you had, especially if it was the rat tail, because that rat tail means you had free shots at key items.
Definitely, there's as many checks on Earth then as there are up on the moon, and I figure I'll just go down there with just the pan in hand. I didn't quite feel comfortable enough, figuring that it would be, there's a good chance of 1 key item. There's a chance at 0 key items. There's not a great shot at 2 key items. Going down to 10 with no pass in hand would have felt a little bit bad. If I have the pass, sure, we'll go chase the rat, or we'll chase the pan first. Then maybe we can go into transition into a top-down moon dive, which would have given the legend sword, as we saw in the spoiler log, would have worked out. But without it, it's a hard call to make. And I figured I'd stay up there, get one more. Found it, and then, rest is history.
Yeah, I think the thing we did note in the booth was also that it did. If Lord Goober did also go up ordeals after getting the Darkness Crystal, this might have been a closer. This might have come down to a top-down versus bottom-up play. Unfortunately, he actually did go up ordeals pretty late, and got nothing for his troubles. There was potential to be close.
Ordeals is always an accursed mountain. I will stand by.
Yes,
I have an emote for it for a reason.
It's true. It was unfortunate. It was one of those unfortunate things where, you just gotta, it made lots of sense for you considering you had the foo. Just climb the mountain, get those spells.
Say no at too.
Yeah. So now that your team has made it through to the grand finals, your opponents are either going to be Dude Where's My Benjamin or 2 Pink Pass Dropper out of armor. Who would you prefer to play against?
Oh, I haven't looked. They're both gonna play about the same. I'm just gonna maybe tailor 1 or 2 checks depending on who it is. It shouldn't. I don't plan to change how I'm doing things, really, depending on who it is. It's gonna be a good match either way. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad to be back.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think I'm out of questions because, again, this was a pretty straightforward seed. Do you have any questions there, Sniper?
No, the big thing I was wondering about was that early ordeals play that was planned, because thoroughness of routing versus just getting that Fusoya powered up. So
Once it starts, like kind of that hook route funnel starts to become clear, I figured I would go and do it anyway. The Fusoya, though, definitely meant I was doing it before Baron in. We were just doing classic clockwise or clockwise routing, get all those boss checks. With these flags, I get nuke on the hook 2 spot boss, as we saw. So just knock out everything I can, get it. If it's Mylon and friends, it's great. That's why I took the Eblin monster boxes as well, to get Paladin Quake in case if it was Mylon and friends. If it's Mylon Z, great. Now I've got white, now I've got Cure 4. I can just blitz through it. With the early spy, I figured we're just going to get all those bosses as fast as possible, and then just keep hitting the ground running.
So I guess the only thing left to say is, you're heading to your team's heading to the finals. You have your thoughts as you get ready for this.
I'm looking forward to whoever I get to race. I'm going to have to check out our race results tonight. I'm going to be running off to volleyball here soon. I'm going to be cheering on Scarcerer and their race here shortly, as we're going to try to go for the sweep regardless, I believe in them. And then we're going to see what happens next week. Either way, it's been a blast of a tournament. I really enjoyed this flag set. I was speaking with Goober a little bit before the race started. I think that it just really came together well with the K-Item 12 mode and with the characters and boxes, even if we didn't get to see it as much. Although that Sid did matter in this one. We got wide. So, huge on that front. I hope that everybody else...
The silly names are exceptionally silly.
Always.
Yeah. You also missed the tell that was in Baron in. That was the other thing that came up.
That would be funny too. Get a little exit, then maybe you go to ordeals, and you get an anchor all in one. So it's just anchors and boxes all day, every day. What a scene.
Yeah.
But neither
Alright, I think that does it for me and Phineas.
That's for me as well. Again, GG's
Congratulations,
Pankraz.
Hey, thank you all. Thank you all for putting on the show. Thank you, Leggy. Thank you, Garen. Thank you, Infinius. Thank you, Sniper. Appreciate it all. Thank you, Goober, for working with my scheduling. Looking forward to seeing what happens next week. And hopefully everybody else has enjoyed the tournament, too. Till then, take care.
So that was Pankraz, our winner of the race, and as we were discussing things with him, Lord Goober has wrapped up the seed and has defeated Zeromus. GG's to Lord Goober.
Yeah, GG's. I guess we'll see if he is up for an interview as well.
Definitely want to point out how well all forked up played in this tournament. They I believe if I look at this correctly, they were the 8th seed coming into this bracket round and pulled off an upset against a very strong Indigo Imps team.
Yes, it was in fact quite a heck of an upset, and it was as Pankraz gives us music, Chrono Cross. That's on the list of games I need to play at some point. But yeah, it was a very good upset. It came out. Definitely was worth. Always like, I guess in sports we always like it when the 8th seed beats the 1 seed, even though it rarely happens. So the fact that we got one here was pretty good.
Yeah, it speaks a lot to how strong the free enterprise community is, because there's just a lot of good runners in this tournament, and a lot of good runners that have already been eliminated. So it definitely says a lot to both these teams to make it to the semis. And here is our runner-up for the race, Lord Goober. GG.
GG. And so it ends.
Yeah, but it was a dang good run. We were just talking about that here in the booth. You guys pulled off an upset against a very strong team in the last round to make it here. You fought hard to get through the pool play. So definitely a performance for your entire team to be very proud of.
Yeah, thought I actually executed this seed fairly well. I just made the wrong minor routing choices. And of course, with the answer being at Sheila 1.
I mean,
Of course.
Sheila 1. I mean, it's kind of awkward, right? Because in that sense, because you had the double you had the double at Lower Babel. You had the double that was in Dwarf Castle. You had the objective and the freebie at the Fey March. Like honestly, like doing Sheila 1 is probably the last of all those things. This is probably the last thing you do anyway. So
exactly,
it's just hard to get.
Yeah.
It's just super hard to get out of that.
And of course, since I had done Lower Babel before I went to the Fey March, I had the equipment to get through that Blarg on first shot.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was.
So I only single dipped that for Wool. I mean that Evelyn.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a very well done Wyvern fight. You did that. You just walked. You took that challenge and said, "Yeah, I got this."
Yep. How many times did xPankraz bounce off of that Yang, or did he get it first try?
I think twice. I want to say.
So about the same as me before I swapped anchor position.
I think it was one. I think it was one. I think he took one wipe. I think. But other than that, it was But the other thing to note was that at that point, Fu had his Fu had Quake at that point because at that point he basically cleared all the overworld except of bosses except for package, I believe.
Okay, so he did a lot more overworld clear before I did.
Yeah. No. So basically, the big, I guess for your perspective, the big thing is that he dove that hook route. Like it was the first thing he did. So he got that through, and then and I think there was an Artemis bow in the hook route. So he leveraged that to basically clear Mist Cave, Hobbs, so on and so forth.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, this was always a challenging flag set.
Yeah. Actually, I guess there's one decision point that occurred that we were wondering about actually. So you do get you get that darkness crystal from Sheila 1, but you then opt to go up ordeals. Talk us through what you're thinking behind that.
That was a last ditch check for Pan.
Ah, okay.
That was a fast Pan check because I knew I was going to get through the first two fights really fast. When I've got one spot left and I know I need one key item for go, I will check ordeals.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Okay. That's fair enough. I mean, I think we made the comments. I think we were talking in the booth how. I guess you didn't know how far ahead Pankraz was at that point, but I think the thing we did note was that if you had actually gone to the moon and did top down instead of bottom up, it might have made for an interesting race. But then you climbed up all deals at that point, and that was at that point that was a death sentence, unfortunately.
Yep. I mean, yeah. Of course, the answer was bottom up.
Yeah, that didn't help your cause either. But at least, but if nothing else, once you got that pan, you had the confidence exactly because at that point you had 11 key items, so it was worth the shot of trying to see if you can spike the 12th key item by turning in the pan.
Yep. I knew I would. Yeah, of course, by that point, I think the .dum was already in.
Yeah. Yes, at that point, so you may as well at that point.
Mm-hmm. Oh well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop off and drown my sorrows in a personal pizza out in the air fryer.
I mean, that's fair. Like, commiseration pizza is always good.
Yeah, most pizzas make everything better. But
Yeah.
again, very very nicely run this entire tournament. You did that. You and your team, we forked up, did a heck of a job. So congratulations to all of you for making it to the semifinals. GG.
Yep, GG, and
GG's.
a farewell.
All right. And that was our runner-up for this race. Lord Goober, his team, We Forked Up, has unfortunately been eliminated from the All Forked Cup tournament. But again, definitely a lot of credit to them. If you haven't already, please take a look giving our runners a follow. They all both these teams, both these runners put on a heck of a race here today.
This was a very interesting, definitely fun one to talk through. Lots of interesting choices that were made. Things that came up that hypotheticals. It was a good one.
Yeah, no, like xPankraz said, that did kind of funnel the runners at points in time, but there were those few those decision points that did allow for some of that strategy and counterplay that we love to see in these races.
Indeed. But I believe yes, we do have a race coming up shortly. Right, like that's coming up
we
in.
do, and this is the start of our other series. This is going to be the start of our other series. You saw a race between We Forked Up and Hitting Squirtles. We also have the other two teams in the semifinals. Dude, Where's My Benjamin? And Pink Puffs, two Pink Puffs dropping adamant armor.
Yeah, I guess I'm happy to also race against whoever that is. Given that I believe I'm good. To be fair, I think I'm not favored in one of those matchups, but that's okay. It's a team race. I just hope rest of my team can carry me.
I obviously don't sell yourself short. I mean, you've played very well getting up to this point, and though both these two teams are very well appointed with veteran runners. One team, two Pink Puffs, coming from our rookie club a few years back, and really developing to some of the top runners in the community. In two Pink Puffs dropping adamant armor. But Dude, Where's My Benjamin? Very veteran runners, very experienced, have played extremely well in this tournament. So, it's I don't want to pick a fight. I don't want to pick a winner in any of these three matches that they're going to have.
Yeah, that one's going to be very. I think that series is going to be very close. It can go either way. I can't make a call either.
Race we are going to have it starting at 7 o'clock on Free Enterprise 2 is going to be in your flag set, the Firebound Fiesta flag set. Very much a shopping spree, as it will, with lots of money in the treasury and money in treasure chests and no equipment, but wild shops. And we'll need to go ahead and just clear the objectives to win the game. You'll see a preview of your two potential opponents in Curios and NG Dave. Again, excellent runners. I don't think I've raced Curios head to head. I've raced NG Dave, and that was definitely a very he definitely showed why he gets the respect he deserves there in that race.
Yeah, and I guess at 9 p.m. Eastern back here. So that'll be on free F3 Enterprise 2 very shortly, but back here at 9 p.m. we have Zoramus Zone anthologized. So which will be a which involves one of the few glitches that we don't really get to see in Free Enterprise, the 64 floor glitch. So we might be able to be able to go from Dwarf Castle all the way to the moon, to Zeromus, to Luke, Sealed Cave. There are lots of interesting things we can see there. And that will be between Judge Joe and Tybalt. That's also going to be a very interesting matchup. Where both riders tend to be quite very aggressive, especially when it comes to saving. So it'll be interesting to see who prevails there as well.
Yeah, no, I've seen, particularly Tybalt, I've seen a lot of on one of our community club races that we broadcast on the channel, the Baron Heroes Journey, and you are not kidding. Tybalt, is very much a gambler.
Yes, and so we could see some interesting plays that you would not normally see, in a from a meta perspective.
I do believe with Tybalt you have a very strong chance of if there's sirens, you'll see the pink puff room on the moon. If the opportunity usually presents itself, he'll usually take that. So.
Yeah, but with that, looks like Free Enterprise 2 is now up and running. So I believe we are going to kick the rest. Head on over and rate that channel for the Curious vs Energy Dave race. So again, thanks to my co-commentator Rowdy Ray Sniper for I guess watching me advance to the finals where I didn't have to do anything this time around. Thanks to Guerrero for doing tracking, and thanks to Lady Starship for doing restream duties. And yes, once again, feel free to follow the runners, follow the rest of the stream team, and go on for the next race between Curious and Energy Dave.